so weird. I think my neighbours can see me right now. It's really awkward.
Hey everyone, and thanks again for checking out my YouTube channel. Now, if you've seen some of my videos, you probably would have guessed that I have quite a few videos on Invisalign. I get a lot of questions from people in basically all my Invisalign videos in the comment section, and there was one question that I received that I thought was really good, and I actually Googled it and had a look around on the internet. Not much advice from anyone who's actually had Invisalign on what you should ask on your first Invisalign consult. Also, on a side note, I'm not wearing my Invisalign in this video because I have a lot of talking to do, and we're not actually talking about my teeth and my Invisalign right now. We're talking about what you would ask in your first consult for Invisalign. So that's why I've left them out, because I'm just putting a new tray in and I will be lisping heaps if I was wearing them. So the question was, what should you ask on your first consult for Invisalign? This is such a good question. Now, before I go into these tips that I've got or questions you should remember to ask your orthodontist or dentist when you go in for your first consult, I wanted to just quickly recap with you about what my first consults were like. I went to 3 different consults. I did that because I wanted to price check basically against all the orthodontists that I was considering and how much they were going to charge me and kind of the vibe I got from with them. So if you have time, make sure you do that, because you can of course do that. It's definitely worthwhile if you want to kind of, you know, find the best price point for you and whoever you feel comfortable with. It was over a year ago, so hopefully I'm recalling everything. A majority of the time I found with 2 of my consults, most of the time I was talking to the orthodontist assistants. Now, they were just young girls that worked in the clinic, and they were great. They were super helpful. They knew a lot about Invisalign. A lot of them had actually been doing it themselves or had done it previously. So it was still great to talk to them. It didn't really bother me that the orthodontist wasn't there, but I would have liked to have spoken to the orthodontist more. For every single consult, they will get you to take a couple of photos. So you'll do a couple of profile side photos. I don't think they were smiling. I don't think so. I think it's just to see how the jawline sits. And then they'll get you to lie down and they stretch your mouth open with this clamp thing. It's not unbearable, but it's not amazing. And then they put like a mirror in your mouth so you can get like photos of the teeth from all angles. And yeah, that takes a few minutes, but I mean, you know, pretty easy. Then of course, there was the sitting down and having a chat about Invisalign with the assistants or the orthodontist. That's when they usually talk you through the process, what would happen, things like that, what to expect. A couple of the consults I did, they actually took the impressions for the Invisalign. One of them, they did, like I've spoken about in previous videos, they did the Play-Doh substance, which takes the impression of the teeth. In another consult with a different orthodontist, they actually use the laser, which takes like a photograph image of every single teeth, and it comes out on like this X-ray machine, which then of course goes back to Invisalign. And that's when they can send through the trays, because they know exactly how the teeth are shaped. So that's basically it in a consult that I went through. So I did about 3, so that was my experience. I have put together some points. It was all professional and typed them up about what I think is worth asking or making sure you get this information during your first consult to make you feel a little bit better about going in through the Invisalign process. Question number 1, ask how the actual process of Invisalign works and how your teeth actually move. Hearing it from a professional and someone that has worked in the industry with Invisalign for a very long time, or hopefully for a very long time, will be able to explain it better than me or anyone else on YouTube or Google who have just gone through the experience. They will give you the technicalities of it, I suppose the sciencey side of how the teeth actually move and what they're doing with each tray. So definitely, I'm sure that's what your orthodontist is going to tell you anyway, but make sure you get that information so you can get your head around it. Okay, always find out how long they think you will be needing Invisalign for. I don't think they could really tell me this, because obviously the impressions of the teeth need to be sent away to Invisalign, and Invisalign sends back a set amount of trays that they think will fix your teeth. So I think your orthodontist can only give you a rough estimate, but it's still worth knowing with their vast amount of knowledge how long they think your teeth will take to straighten up. Still on this point too, ask them about refinements, because you're not just gonna do the Invisalign set and then it's over. A lot of the time you have to do refinements afterwards. Like if you've been watching my videos, I'm now on my second set of refinements. So it's good to have a chat about how, if they think, you know, what's their experience with Invisalign, and if they do refinements after people have finished their said set of time with Invisalign. Number 3, ask them about attachments and filing. Talk to your orthodontist about getting the attachments on your teeth and how many they think you will have. Ask them to talk you through the process of filing and putting the attachments on. No one talked me through this process, and so when it started happening, the first time I had to go in and get attachments, I was pretty daunted and didn't love the experience. Hence, if you've seen my first Invisalign video. If someone had just probably spoken to me a little bit more in depth about what we're actually doing and how they actually do it, and it may feel a bit uncomfortable, I probably would have been a little bit more prepared. So definitely worth asking. Again, they may not know exactly how many attachments you'll have to get because that's up to Invisalign when the trays come back, but it's worth getting yourself prepared for. Number 4, price. Each orthodontist is going to charge you differently. Like in my case, I shopped around. For example, I was quoted one extremely high price on my first consult with an orthodontist about my Invisalign. I flat out refused to pay that much and went to the next orthodontist and explained that that's how much this orthodontist wanted to charge me, and I didn't feel like that was right compared to the other prices I'd researched prior to going into consults for Invisalign. It's it's a big process, and if you're in Australia like I am, it can be super expensive. So make sure you go with someone who you think is worth an expensive price if you're going to pay it, and that you're paying something you're comfortable with, because it isn't a cheap process. When talking about prices, they will also talk to you about a payment plan, and if that works for you, it's definitely worth asking as many questions as you can about that, so you don't walk out feeling confused. Don't feel stupid asking people to explain things a little bit more in depth so you understand. So yeah, I don't know if I reiterated that properly or explained that well enough. You can definitely take the time to visit an orthodontist, then see another orthodontist, and see as many as you need until you are comfortable with the information you've been given about how much they're going to charge you. Number 5, talk to your orthodontist about comparing the Invisalign process with traditional braces. I know that may not be what you're going in there for or what you want, but it may just work out that traditional braces or metal braces may work faster for your teeth or may be better suited to the crowding or the problems you have with your teeth. So always be open-minded about what will work for you and whether Invisalign is really what is going to be best for you. There is cons with Invisalign, like I have spoken about in my previous videos, and I'll put a few links here. You know, like it's not for everyone. Definitely keep that in mind when, and traditional braces are actually cheaper than Invisalign. So depending on what your budget is, maybe traditional braces might be the best bet for you, but don't be closed-minded about doing that, because yeah, listen to the professionals. They know teeth way better than me or you, unless you're an orthodontist, and then I don't know why you're watching me. And number 6, ask to see other examples of their work that they've done with other people's teeth and Invisalign. Now, if they're a super experienced orthodontist, they're probably going to have their work on show in the clinic anyway. And if you can't see it, ask for it, because then you know that this person's definitely worked with Invisalign patients before, and you can see their track record and how well people's smiles have turned out. And you may even be able to find someone in those records that has a similar issue to you and see how Invisalign has actually worked for them. So that's definitely worth looking at. And if it's an orthodontist that doesn't have much to show, I don't know. I've never gone to an orthodontist that doesn't have a great portfolio of work already. So that you would have to make the best judgment on your own and with your own intuition about how you feel going to someone with that amount of experience. So guys, I hope this makes sense. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up, share it, or whatever you need to do so other people can find out information. I really hope this helps with your first Invisalign consult. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments to this video and I'll do my best to get back to you, or I'll do another Q&A. If you want to see more teeth videos, make sure you hit subscribe. But above all, good luck with your Invisalign journey, and let me know how you go. Hopefully I haven't missed any points. If I have, I will add them to the description box in this video. Good luck.